staff, parents, students, the media representatives, and the officials from the Ministry of Education. First of all, I want to congratulate the directors for having the confidence in the economy, and as she has clearly stated, that it was a leap of faith in a time when things were uncertain, but here they were, all around. They've been planning to set up this particular center, and they chose this time to open this learning center. Generally, we have seen that the businesses had a tough time making such decisions to open a new business. They were trying to break even, tried to continue with whatever they were doing. But here we have Maureen and Atish, who decided to open this learning center. And we acknowledge private learning centers. We strongly believe that by having private learning centers, it provides choice to the parents. Parents have an option whether they want to send their children to a private learning center or institutions that are supported by the government, which is, you can call it semi, meaning it's owned by someone but supported by the government. To date, we have about 16,000 plus ECE children attending ECE schools around the country, and the government support is around $2.9 million during the year. We believe, as we have heard from the MC, that ECE is a very important stage in a child's life. This is the time when they're leaving home, and it is a step towards school environment. And at home, they're free to do whatever they like. They are the apple of eyes of our parents, and therefore often we don't set a routine for the kids, and sometimes they don't develop those social skills that are needed for a child to operate in a school environment. So when the children go to ECE, the first focus is for them to develop social skills where they build relationships. They can fight amongst themselves, as I can see in front, nudging and talking and pulling each other's hair as well. But it's fun to watch. That's what the kids do at this age. And we should, of course, not only discipline them, but at the same time make them understand why they should not do that. So these are the values that we have to teach at a very young age. But we also know that when kids are young as 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 4-year-old, 3-year-old, the brain is developing. And when the brain is developing, that's the time. That's the real time for us to teach in a way that they're able to learn the various skill set, and they build that confidence. And once they have that confidence, when they move out of ECE center and they enter primary school, they'll have that confidence to ask questions, be curious, engage in discussions, and we all should encourage that. When the children ask questions, we should not as adults tell them this is not the right time, or this is not the question for you, or you ask me another time. That means you are killing the curiosity there and then. We should just answer them patiently. Sometimes they have many questions, and as adults we struggle to find answers. Let's accept that. But whatever it is, we just have to be part of the learning journey and continue guiding our kids. But today, with this King's Kid Learning Center, what I am really happy with is the idea of introducing e-learning at such a young age. Not many schools have embarked in this area, and not many ECE centers are using technology to teach the children. The basics are there, and of course basics are very important, like numbers, drawings they do, learning the alphabets. All these are important initial stages. But then there is a gap between what children do at home and what they do in ECE center. At home, with the parents of this generation, when the child is born, they don't sing lullabies. They don't sing any of the poems. They just put it on the mobile phone and next to the child's ear. And that's the early stages where the child starts playing with that little toy. And it's amazing when you hear stories from parents that they're able to even switch on and do all the things they can on the phone. Now, nobody taught them at that young age, but they do it. And I always wonder, and I keep thinking, and when I go out in the schools, I keep asking students, who taught you to use mobile phone? Who taught you to use computers? And the big answer is no one, which is true, no one. Then the question is, how did they learn? But then again, it's the curiosity. If they see a gadget, they want to play around with it. Unlike the adults, when we buy our appliances, we refuse to read the guideline, how to install and how to look after it. We just want to use it. And that's when we scream out and ask for our children to fix it and just tell us how to use it. But these are our young ones. They know exactly what they want. And as parents, it's our duty to inculcate those skills in our children so that it will simply enhance their learning experience in school. The e-learning, I do understand that e-learning will be introduced at this center, and the new curriculum is an international curriculum blended with the local curriculum, which is a good mix. It's a very good mix because you cannot be teaching just international curriculum and not focusing on the local environment. And that is the way forward, because we cannot just keep our children away from things happening globally. Obviously, they watch television. There is a lot of information out there, or even listening to parents' discussion, and they should be exposed to international happenings and to us to answer those questions if they have any. So, ladies and gentlemen, with a lot of congratulations, even on your behalf, I would like to pass it on to the directors, and I wish them a lot of success. And I hope one day I'll be able to look at the curriculum and see how we can use some of their blended curriculum and introduce it into our ECE sector. But for everyone's information, ECE, as I mentioned, we have 16,000 plus students, and we have over 860 ECE centers around the country. But one thing we realize, that we don't have trained ECE teachers, and for that reason, TELS scholarship and TELS loan scheme, under the loan scheme, teachers can opt for ECE education. We're encouraging more teachers to obtain that education. It's very crucial. But we're also reviewing the whole ECE subsector, starting from standard to policies to programs and also curriculum. And there has been several discussions around the country with ECE teachers, ECE directors. UNICEF is helping us to reform and revise our ECE subsector. Standards are very important because it's all about child safety. We cannot allow people to open up ECE center just in their porch and call it ECE center without any safety measures. And that is why we are compelled to review and put standards. If you don't have standards, then surely you cannot ask people to follow standards. So first and foremost, with the new standard, we'll be able to put in new guidelines and help ECE operators to provide meaningful learning experiences to our little ones, and at the same time look after them so that their safety is taken into consideration. So with these words, ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure to officially open this King's Kid Learning Center along with the new tools they are introducing, that is the e-learning tools. Vinaka.